Alright, guys, I think it's safe to say Lamar is not a playoff quarterback. Because holy crap, did he lay an egg? And, oh yeah, the Lions, guys, like, so close, up by 17, guys. You can't blow that lead. Let's go, though. 2024 NFL Championship Sunday recap. Let's go.
The instincts, the God-given gives the awareness to go beat him to the punt and makes one of the greatest plays you'll ever see in a championship game.
So far, Jahmyr Gibbs, one of the rushing touchdowns for Detroit as they have rolled here in the first half and lead it 24-7. That's a Verizon play the first half.
To the AFC Championship game.
Ready or not.
Well, the stage. Drifting right, throwing. What a catch! That was Kelsey pulling it down for the first down on a 4th and 2. Up inside the 25. Here's Kansas City from the 19. Throwing at the goal line, and it's caught by Kelsey for the touchdown. With Kyle Hamilton all over him.
Everyone down, you could give up a touchdown if you're wrong.
Jackson's going to keep it, finds the seam, and there he goes! He's got Snead trying to bring it to a halt, and he does. Definition of a north-south runner, isn't he? Get it! On the pocket. Oh, me! That's away from Chenal, who's trying to get after him for a second time, but the ball is thrown to the end zone, and it's caught! To the 37. He's got time. All kinds of time. Now escapes. Fires it at the last second, and Kelsey caught it. It's back to Pacheco. Pacheco drives across for the Chiefs touchdown. On 1st and 10. Lamar got hit from behind. The ball is stripped. 4th and a foot. Oh, hell! Pacheco, I don't think he got there. Hamilton came up. 2nd and 5. Ball batted up into the air and caught by Jackson. He caught his own pass. Here's Butker from 52, and it's good right into the net.
Enough? Yes.
Another low one. Flips it back over to Kelsey, who powers ahead for the first down. Into the line. Needs help. Going to do it on his own. Here goes Lamar for about 12. Play action. Loads it up. Wide open. He's got it. It's Flowers. Getting past Snead. From the 9. Jackson to Flowers. He dives. The ball came out. It's recovered by Kansas City. Did the ball come out? They do. They are going for it. 4th and 3. They convert. Woo! The pass to an open man, Aguilar. Aguilar going out of bounds after a big play for Baltimore. Line has now reached the Chiefs' 25. 2nd and 10. To the end zone again, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Deion Bush. 9 kickers by percentage in NFL history in this game, and that is good. He gets the protection. He goes long and on his back to ice it is Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the wave men. White heat, the screaming in the jungle. Complete the motion if you stumble.
And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy this 2024 NFL Championship Sunday recap. Of course, we did have the AFC Championship first, which went on around 3 o'clock and ended at around 6-something. Of course, this game revolved around a couple big plays in the first couple drives for each teams. Then the game kind of went to crap, and Lamar Jackson kind of, again, the summary of this game is Lamar Jackson is not a postseason quarterback, considering how much of an egg he laid in this game. But, of course, the final score does tell you who will be going to the Super Bowl and wins the AFC Championship for the 4th time in 6 years, on, of course, all years under Patrick Mahomes. Of course, they are now a complete dynasty, guys. It's pretty simple there. Again, if they win their third Super Bowl, that's just freaking ridiculous. But again, 17-10 was the final score in their first ever road AFC Championship under Patrick Mahomes. And again, it was more their defense than anything. Of course, we'll talk about that in a minute. But again, when you look at it and you really think about it, to be frank, really, technically, let's be honest, guys, the Ravens defense didn't give up a point, or a touchdown, really after the first quarter, because like the touchdown in the second quarter, it was like a minute in. So really, the last 3 quarters, the Chiefs did not score a touchdown, and they still won this game, of course, with that second half shut. Of course, with such a dominant defensive performance, again, they didn't score a point in the second half, just tells you what type of team they are this season. Mahomes, again, he did miss some throws again in the early going. Again, they hit a wide open play to Rashee Rice, which ended up costing them probably points, again, considering they went there on 4th down. But outside of that, Mahomes, guys, was great. Again, he had the huge throw on the 3rd and 9 to clinch the win for the Chiefs. Obviously, though, there's a lot of other stuff he could have done better. Again, it has not been his best season at all, but they're still winning games, and he's part of the reason they are, obviously. 30 of 39, 241. Touchdown, protected the ball well, too. Running game, again, without what it's called Joe Tooney, you can see they really just didn't have enough oomph up front. Again, Joe Tooney and Trey Smith are both very good. Again, Trey Smith had like 2 or 3 penalties. 2 of them were definitely holding, maybe 3 for the false start. But yeah, he wasn't. They just did not really penetrate really at all, and it was really hard for Isaiah Pacheco to find those holes. It wasn't like he didn't have holes, it was just, again, they didn't penetrate very well. It's hard for him to really get going. But he did have a touchdown. Mahomes also had some scrambles as well. Again, Travis Kelce, the monster first half, kind of cooled off after that, but again, did still make some big plays. 11 for 116, of course, the touchdown against Kyle Hamilton. Rashee Rice, again, he did get open a lot more than this stat line does tell you, but they were getting him the football 8 for 46. Of course, MVS did have that big clutch play. They're going to need him to do the same thing next week. Justin Watson, I think, needs to get more involved, but he did have a catch for 16 yards. Isaiah Pacheco was also involved here, again, 28 total touches for them. They want to get him the football. Clyde Edwards-Helaire even got 3 touches. Again, 4 yards isn't very productive, but who the heck cares with that? Richard James, again, he dropped 1 pass, but it was kind of off there. They got to figure that out, especially, again, they got 2 weeks to figure that out there, because, again, Richie James also could be a key guy for them. These receivers have to be very, very good the next, because considering who they will be playing. But overall, again, this Chiefs offense, yeah, they only scored 17 points, got shut out in the second half, but really, again, the Ravens defense is the best in the league, so I'm not too surprised they only put up 17, but for the best defense in the league, guys, like, this defense has just been so good. By far the best Mahomes has ever had. I'm going to say the second best defense in Chiefs history. And also the reason they're not one is because that 1969 defense, nice, my pause, but back in, again, when they won the first Super Bowl, which, again, it was like freaking 50 plus years ago, I get that, but that, or actually, how many years? That was Super Bowl 2, right? Yeah, whatever. No, 3. Yeah, that Super Bowl, that year. That defense was the only reason they won the Super Bowl, to be completely honest. But this defense is so good. Again, they had 4 sacks. It's so hard to see what they're going to want to do. Again, they rotate from 2 high to 1 high like this and that. Disguise it so well. They make you overthink. You saw that with Lamar in this game. But Deion Bush also had, of course, that huge interception. They got a ton of pressure on Lamar. Made it really hard to do what he wanted to do. Also, they got them away from what they wanted to do, of course, that being the Ravens, and also got them away from that identity. And that really helped them, again, getting some optimal situations for their corners, who played fantastic in this football game. You know, you can't discredit Chris Jones, too. Again, he didn't make many plays. He didn't even have a tackle, but he was very big in this game. I think he had 3 or 4 pressures. Richie James, again, he did have a couple of returns, and Henderson Bucker hit his 52-yarder, I think. Was it a 45-yarder? 52, okay. For the Ravens, though, again, Lamar laid a complete egg. There's no way around it, guys. Again, he did throw a touchdown, but again, that interception was probably about as bad as could have got. Again, you got to throw that pass high. Again, you want to go to Isaiah Likely there. I get that. He'll be big for them next year, too. But considering, again, the circumstances there, he's just got to airmail that, to be completely honest. Who the hell knows? Maybe he does make the play there, considering what those guys have with chemistry on those big plays. But Lamar, outside of that, again, he missed a lot of throws. Again, just wasn't very consistent at all. Again, he completed a pass onto himself for, like, 16 yards, something like that. But, again, started the game really ugly. Again, he never really got going either. Again, yeah, 854 on the ground, but he really only had, like, 1 good run, which is, of course, a 21-yard third-down conversion. He never really get that going. Again, the fact they ran the ball, 8 times with other guys. Again, I get the fact that you can't really run the ball at all. Gus Edwards only had 2 nice carries. But outside of that, again, this complete offensive line completely collapsed, too. I'll give him that. Again, Lamar had to, again, just completely missed some big reads, and again, just was boneheaded plays here and there. But again, when it comes down to it, they just didn't run the football, and this offense looks terrible when they don't. Simple as that. Best rushing team in the league for a reason. They didn't run the ball for 100 yards. First time in 35 games. 35 games that's happened. Receiving wise, again, Zay Flowers, he's the man. 5 for 115 touchdown. I get you the fumble, but guys, the Ravens have a number 1 receiver right here, and they have not had this type of dude since, I'm be honest, probably Marquise Brown back in 2021, but that could be even stretching it. Zay Flowers is even better than he is. He was that year. Nelson Aguilar did have a catch for 39 yards, so yeah, he did make 1 big play, but again, outside of that, I really didn't see much explosion from anyone. Mark Andrews did get open a couple times. Of course, they had the first completion to him, but outside of that, they really didn't get him going, which I'm not too surprised by. Again, he just looked a little off. Of course, yeah, 13-yard catch for Lamar. Defensively, though, Kyle Hamilton, he's the same old dude. Yeah, he did drop that. He did give up that touchdown, Travis Kelce, but it wasn't even a yard of separation. I wouldn't even give him a decimal tenth of a yard of separation there. He was glued to him again. Travis Kelce just made a great play back shoulder, but he did have 11 total tackles in this game. He is the second best safety in the NFL, in my opinion. Again, going back to film, we'll get to the rankings way back in August. But I'll tell you this. Kyle Hamilton is the best safety. He was the best safety this year. He's not the best safety in the league, though. We'll talk about that again in August, which is like 6 months away. I just wanted to say that, though. Patrick Queen, obviously, really good game overall. Only a couple throws where I'm like, yeah, he could have been back there a little more, but he was pretty good. Brandon Stevens, just, again, we'll see what they do with him next year, but honestly, I don't think it's the worst case with him. Obviously, though, without a guy like Marlon Humphrey being fully healthy, they just did not have a guy. Again, Arthur Millette getting hurt did not help either. They need a couple more corners, like 2 or 3 dudes that can actually step in. And once you saw Travis Jones come out, at least on that one drive, they didn't look that good against the run. Again, Justin Madubuike, again, he's going to be a guy who's going to get a massive extension this year. Contract, whether he deserves it completely or not. Again, he did have a 13-sack season for an IDL. That's insane. Of course, Jadeveon Clowney had 2 tackles for sack. He'll also probably get a pretty big contract. Again, guys, I get the defense gave up a couple big plays here and there, but when it comes down to it, this defense did exactly what they needed to do. In fact, this offense, again, led by Lamar Jackson, could not run the football, never really got into any sort of rhythm, is the reason they lost this football game. Simple as that. If you want to blame this totally on Lamar, well, you're kind of wrong, but also, you can't completely blame people, because he sucked. Team stats, though. Again, the Ravens had more yardage, but again, the Chiefs completely controlled the time of possession. 3 total turnovers killed the Ravens, 2 basically in the red zone. When it comes down to it, guys, again, 3 of 11 on third down. The miscues that are uncharacteristic for the Ravens lost in this football game. Trust me, they were the better team for sure. And again, they just wasted one of the best defenses you've ever seen because Mike McDonald could get hired to Seattle. So again, Ravens fans, I'm not going to say this is going to be your last shot to win a Super Bowl under Lamar Jackson, but this is by far the best one you've had so far. With all that said, though, let's get right into tease the game grade for both these teams. For the Chiefs, Mahomes under 40 passing attempts. He had exactly 39. Again, I wanted them to be able to run the football, whether it was successful or not. Again, they just could not get in that type of passing situation where Mahomes was frustrated. They didn't have a great rhythm by any means in the second half, but the fact that, again, Mahomes, he was limiting the plays where, again, they could force a turnover was huge, and also, again, that pass rush really didn't get going too much, and of course, that being the Ravens. So, Chiefs offensively, I like what I saw there. The injury of the O-line penetrating big chunks of yards before carry in the fourth quarter. They really couldn't get that going again. You don't have a guy like Joe Toon who gets like some big boy runners, basically David Montgomery in the next game. Get better as the game goes on. It's really hard to be able to run the football consistently, and again, you just didn't see that in this game. Justin Watson didn't make a couple big plays, but he did make one obviously. 3 or less runs of 2+ yards beyond the line of scrimmage. They only had like 2 or 3. It wasn't the worst. Again, they limited those bad runs, but offensively overall for the Chiefs, again, the success rate wasn't great on in terms of the running game. Mahomes did protect the football though. Yeah, they did get shut out in the second half. They're of course going to be much better next week. They're going to be able to beat the best offense in the league, it seems, in the Niners. But again, we'll get to that in a second. But Chiefs offensively, again, it was there, I guess. I'll give them 2 pluses. Again, yeah, 17 points is really never what you want, but the fact they got out that lead, protected the football, played their type of football, which, again, with the defense they have, is exactly what they needed to do. Pressure-wise, again, I don't think they got 6 in the fourth quarter. I think, again, they kind of fell off, actually, defensively in terms of the pressure they did get. George Karlaftis, though, again, I think he injured his hand, something like that. He's got 2 weeks to recover, but 6 pressures, probably. 3 or more plus blitzes with the corners on the boundary being on an island. They were great with that. The corners stepped up big time when they wanted to blitz. 2+ picks. They did have 1, of course, for 3 turnovers. George Karlaftis coming up big on the last drive. He did make some big plays. Defensively, again, they weren't as good as I've seen them. No, I'm joking. This is the best performance I've seen from the year out of them. I'm giving them 9 pluses. Again, they did a couple big plays, but that really outside of that, guys, this defense was fantastic. There's really nothing bad you could have said about them. This is the best Chiefs defense you've had in 55 years. So be very grateful for that, guys. Go in the Super Bowl. Time for the Ravens. No, wait, 55 years. Time for the Ravens, though. And for Baltimore, the tackles being able to kick out on crucial downs. The reason I said that is because, again, when you run the football, the tackles are going in, penetrating up the middle, setting edges, stuff like that. But you don't want them to be living out there, which is what happened in this game, to be completely honest. Like, you saw George Karlaftis can completely dominate these tackles, because, again, guys like Morgan Moses, they're not strong when they're just kicking out every single time, getting ready to block. Of course, being in shotgun. Well, again, they didn't get that running game established, and it was really bad there. So, again, kicking out on those crucial downs was basically meaningless. Lamar getting out of his hands with the hot rusher, he didn't do that. He had some underneath checkdowns. He completely passed up. A couple of them, again, was Justice Hill. He finally started to hit, and that really didn't mean anything. Zay Flowers, that's probably the only good thing they did in this game, at least offensively, getting the ball to Zay Flowers downfield. Mark Andrews catching a touchdown. He didn't catch a touchdown, but, again, he was part of the game plan early. Again, when it comes down to, guys, Lamar passed up a lot of underneath throws, and that really actually cost him in this game. Not only only than that, but again, they didn't run the football really at all. And again, the fact that again this offensive line just got completely manhandled at times is really the reason this offense couldn't do much of anything. Again, Lamar was a big part of that too. But again, Ravens going into next year, you got to figure out a way to get some more big bruiser dudes up front. Again, I like John Simpson, guys, but he's just not physical enough. Simple as that. Again, maybe he can't get through that in the offseason. Kevin Zeitler is obviously great, but they need to find someone in there to support Tyler Linderbaum when it comes to run blocking, because it doesn't matter how good your pass blocking is if you cannot establish a physical presence against another physical team. Because when it came down to it, guys, they couldn't play bully ball, which, again, is their game plan. Ravens offensively, now, complete stinker. I'll give them 8 minuses. The reason it's not worse, though, is because, again, I've seen worse performances for sure. But, yeah, that was complete stinker. Time for the defense. Ravens defensively, 4+ sacks from the interior. Sorry, I kind of switched there, but whatever. They didn't get 4 sacks. They definitely had a couple. Maybe they did. Jadeveon Clowney was fine. Marlon Humphrey, I don't think, again, he was a little off. Rocket Yassin, I think, got 1 snap. He didn't do anything on that. Kyle Hamilton didn't force a turnover, but he was pretty good. They did give up under 20 points. Again, they didn't give up a point after basically the touchdown after the first quarter. The only grab is really the fact that, again, the third down, they could have been a little better. But again, Ravens defensively, you can't really complain, again, considering how they started. But Ravens defensively, I will probably give you guys 6 pluses. You did do enough to win this football game, all things said. Yeah, forcing turnovers and crap like that, but who that cares, guys? When it comes down to it, 17 points should be enough to be held at to win a football game. But obviously, this Ravens defense, offense did not get the memo. That's really all I got for the Ravens, guys. Again, you're going to the offseason. Again, it was the NFC Championship. But still, that's all I got here. Here was the NFC Championship. And yeah, here were the highlights.
It is the NFC Championship from first down, another fake. Come with Jameson Williams, the speedster, has a block. Williams cuts up, 25, 20, still on his feet. Jameson Williams scores on this drive. And Moody, it is no good. He pushed it right. Montgomery on 2nd and goal, surging his way forward. He's in. Touchdown, Detroit. Here's Purdy to start the second quarter. Get it out to McCaffrey. One-on-one. McCaffrey breaks a tackle. McCaffrey down the sideline. Still on his feet. Surging forward. McCaffrey stopped near the 5 by 4
red zone trips because they're excellent when they get there.
McCaffrey, 2nd and goal. Up and in. Touchdown, San Francisco. 4-man rush. Purdy in some trouble. Lets it go over the middle and it's picked off. Rodriguez has it. Breaks the tackle, and he's inside the 20. Now it's Gibbs. Trying to get to the edge. Gets a block from the corner. Makes a man miss. Gibbs inside the 5. Touchdown, Detroit. On the fake. Pressure on Goff. He's in trouble. Bosa's got his 2nd sack of the day. And here's Badgley from 21, and he buries it.
Coming back out. We have to finish this game.
Purdy over the middle, and Samuel in stride, and Deebo Samuel. A strike from Purdy. Purdy thinking about running for it, not going to get there. Back across his body. Oh! One-handed catch, Juwan Jennings. And it's drilled right down the middle. Goff to throw it. Here comes pressure. Escapes. Fires over the middle, and it is incomplete. Here's Purdy with a lot of time. Steps into one. Launching deep. Going for Brandon Ayuk. It is. Oh, he caught it off the ricochet. Penalty. Is he in? Here's Purdy. Looking. Firing in. Joe. Caught. Ayuk. Touchdown. Here is Gibbs. Up the middle. He runs into a wall. And the ball came out. Ball is loose. Who's got it? By the way, here's Purdy. Pressure, steps up, going to run, has a little room. Purdy with a nice move, first down. Purdy still going, staying on his feet, down to the 5. McCaffrey's going to get it, and he walks in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Back of that.
Here's Purdy on first down. Late blitz coming, in trouble. Purdy stays up on his feet somehow, and now throws it and has a completion. Purdy to throw it. Blitz coming. Steps away, room to run, going to take it. Purdy sprinting inside the 15 and diving forward for a first down. Moody up and good, and the 49ers with their first lead here tonight. And here's Goff on the fake. Back, loading up deep, and Williams is that intercepted. Thomas Williams. Williams comes down with it. Wow! Goff, pressure, in trouble, throws on the run, incomplete. Third down,
Four-man rush. Purdy in some trouble. Escapes. Looking for the first down. He's got it and more. Brock Purdy with the legs inside the 30. Here's McCaffrey. Right side. Breaks the tackle. McCaffrey. Foot race. Taken down inside the 5. Time tonight. Guess what? He's going to get it. Mitchell surging forward. Touchdown. The clock. This is the game. Goff pumps, fires end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. What a grab by Williams to keep this game alive. Badgley gets into it high and over. And it's loose. Ball loose. Kittle's going to pick it up, and that'll be that.
We gon' burn the whole house down.
Same old Lions, guys, of course. Yep. Have a chance to go to the Super Bowl with that 24-7 halftime lead and blow big time as they give up 27 unanswered to eventually fall to the San Francisco 49ers 34-31. Of course, they had the onside kick at the end of the game, which you just saw, which of course failed because of the illegal touching, and also George Kittle just he really fell on that ball like he really wanted it. But obviously, the Niners go to their second Super Bowl. Of course, they've been in the last 5 NFC Championships, and yeah, now they're going back to the Super Bowl and looking to not lose to the Chiefs for another time. And again, they have not won the Super Bowl since 1989, so it's been a really freaking long time. Lions, again, they've never been in the Super Bowl. This is probably their best shot. Again, last time they won was 1991, but like, I mean, I think that was like the Giants or something. I don't even know. But or the Commanders, one of those 2 years when they were really freaking good. But yeah, the Lions, yeah, that was just not their year. This year they probably could have got there. Obviously, just completely imploding. And yeah, that's how their season ends. So this is the most successful Lions season they've ever had. Of course, winning 2 playoff games in a single season has never happened for them. Well, since 1957, but Super Bowl era has never happened. For Jared Goff, though, he went 25-41, 273 touchdown. These are very, I'll tell you the misleading stats. He could have thrown 2 interceptions in this game. A little shaky at times. Also didn't run a lot. Under pressure, again, he did struggle pretty big amount. He wasn't terrible, per se, but Jared Goff did not step up in the way he needed to. Again, first half, he did exactly what he wanted them to. Don't turn over the ball. Don't mess things up. Make some big throws when you need to. But in the second half, when they needed something to happen, especially in that late third quarter, did not get it done. And that part of the reason they lost, again, looked very limited in this game. We'll get to the big overarching takeaway from this game in a minute, but we'll get to the rest of the stats first for both of these teams. David Montgomery, 15 carries, 93 yards, a touchdown. Again, he was very good in this game. Again, got stuffed on a couple goal line plays, but outside of that, he was pretty good. Jahmyr Gibbs, again, he did struggle big time again when they actually got to him in the backfield. Of course, he did have some big runs on, of course, that highlight reel 15-yarder, though. James Williams, of course, did a touchdown to open it up on that reverse. Receiving-wise, Sam Laporta actually had 9 catches for 97 yards. I really didn't see that. Amon-Ra St. Brown saw a lot more of, but he was pretty good. James Williams, of course, caught a touchdown as well as making a big catch. Josh Reynolds really struggled this game with drops. He did get open. In terms of separation, it wasn't like he was getting completely open a ton, but sometimes he did. And of course, he had a 25-yard catch. He will be on this team next year for sure, because, to be honest, these guys, outside, of course, obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown, this guy's the most reliable guy for Jared Goff. You got to keep this guy around. Again, I get he struggled in this game for sure, but the fact that, again, a guy like him him and Jared Goff are just perfect for each other, you got to keep him on this team for next year. Of course, for this defense, though, I mean, they didn't really expect them, to be completely honest, guys, because, again, the corners are just not good. It's just simple truth. Brian Branch is fine in the slot, keep him there, but safety-wise, again, Cedar Gardner-Johnson's great in all times, but, guys, again, for talking trash and stuff, but he got completely manhandled in this game. Kirby Joseph missed a lot of tackles. Malcolm Rodriguez was probably the best player on this defense. Alex Anzalone did what he needed to. Jack Campbell looked definitely like a rookie. Aiden Hutchinson did literally nothing. It was a little rough for him too. I will say this though, really the only thing takeaway I would say they need an actual boundary corner. Cam Sutton struggled this year as a number 1. Again, he did have some nice games here and there, but guys, it just was not his year. Obviously, Kendall Valdor, just watch the play where it bangs off his helmet. That'll tell you everything you need to know. But again, this defense did exactly what I was expecting them to do. I mean, they did well against the run, all things said. Not great, but better than some other teams have done. But yeah, this defense, they just got to be better in the secondary next year. Simple as that. Again, they have some good guys. If Eddie Melifonwu, you want to probably start next year. But Kirby Joseph, I don't know what they're going to try to do with him, but they got to bring a more physical presence to that cornerback room for sure. But obviously, Jack Fox, he had a pretty good game punting. And what is it called? Michael Badgley hit his only field goal attempt. Obviously, the Lions went 0 for 2 on those 4th-3 and 4th-2 fourth downs in those third and fourth quarters, or third quarter. Whatever, though. For the Niners, tail 2 halves, obviously, for them. Brock Purdy, again, also tail 2 halves for him. He was terrible in the first half. Second half, really ramped it up. And, again, it was because he got those legs going. Again, we'll see next week in the Super Bowl. Again, he'll be on a big stage. I guarantee he'll be very overwhelmed at times in that game. But again, if they can get him scrambling and get him on some good rollouts there, Brock will really get in the rhythm there, and he'll be a lot better. Because again, when he's using his feet, he seems to really get more into the flow of the game. And running the ball wise, again, Elijah Mitchell had a touchdown, but CFC had a lot of hard-earned yards. Of course, they had a couple monster carries. It wasn't like he had a consistent game by any means, but 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 catches for 42 yards is a typical type of game you see from a superstar like him. Brandon Ayuk obviously got the touchdown and the bomb on that. He was not open, but great hand-eye coordination on that play. Debo is the engine of this offense when they need him to be. Not always, but when they need him to be, they go to him. Obviously, Trent Williams is the most valuable player in this offense outside of and CMC. They have a lot of good guys. But defensively, Fred Warner did his normal things. 30 tackles, tackle for loss. Yeah, typical for him. Nick Bosa had 2 sacks. He really looked like his dominant self. The corners struggled overall. I don't think they did a great job again. And coverage-wise, I mean, it was okay by the linebackers. The safeties didn't do too much. I mean, Jahari Brown and Tayshaun Gibson Sr. just simply didn't mess up. Again, Jahari Brown was much better against the run support, too. Again, outside of missing some tackles, I really don't think this defense played too bad. Again, they were much better in that second half, though. Team stats, though, again, both teams had a good amount of rushing yards, over 150 for both. But again, we look at it, the time possession, much favoring the Niners in the second half, again, scoring 27 unanswered. Also, the fact that, again, the Lions were 1 for 3 on fourth down. But, guys, well, I'm going to honestly get into it right now. Both teams scores very even on third down. The real takeaway from this game is, guys, the Lions are their identity is going for it. Like, that's what they do. They just simply go for it. Obviously, on fourth down, but in general, like, figuratively, too. Like, that's what they do. They go for it. And, yes, you could argue it cost them this season, but that's who they were, and I'm okay with that. Obviously, there were some other bad decisions here and there, but that's who they were, and that's what happened. And really the reason, honestly, they think the Niners won this game in completely total end. The Lions are a very inexperienced team. They're not really used to being here. Of course, Dan Campbell is a young coach. He's very inexperienced. He came into this game like, we'll see what happens, and obviously it didn't go their way. But again, Kyle Shanahan's been in this game for the last 5 years. That's really the difference, guys. Lions are an inexperienced team. Dan Campbell has never been here. Shanahan's been here 4 years out of the last 5. Kind of tells you what it's like for him. But with all that said, guys, let's get right into the keys to the game grades to wrap this thing up. Lions offensively, again, we'll talk about Jared Goff. He just wasn't that good under pressure. I wouldn't say he was trash, but he definitely wasn't as good as you liked him to be. Jahmyr Gibbs breaking tackles every 2 carries. Not something like that, but he did break a couple of them. Dave Montgomery, 12+ carries. I think he had, 15? So definitely. Amon-Ra St. Brown catching a bomb on the boundary. No, but he did make some big plays. They didn't have the ball for 39 minutes. I think that it was a thing they could have been better with. They didn't extend drives the way I wanted them to on third down. Yeah, 6 of 12, but I think they could have been even better than that. And also, again, going for their fourth down, they got to have Jared Goff. He's got to get on a roll there, because you look at it, he could have stepped up and ran on both of those plays. Again, you talk again, Jared Goff's not a mobile dude, but he's got to pick those first downs up. It's the postseason. It's do or die. That's what I got for this offense. So, it completely fell apart in the second half. I'll have to give them 2 minuses. Yeah, 31 points against that Niners defense is pretty good, but when it comes down to it, guys, they just didn't do enough in that second half to keep the game out of reach for the Niners. And for the defense, Gaem side didn't get torched really at all. Honestly, I don't think anyone really even got torched. The tackling just wasn't good on the from the secondary, and also, again, none of those dudes really did much of anything, which honestly is actually a good thing, but, again, just not good enough there. Aiden, he only got, 2 pressures. He struggled in this game. Ellie McNeil with 5+ tackles. I think he might have had 4. I want to see the advanced stats are out there, for, I wonder if they're out yet. There we go. There we go. I don't know if they're out yet. No, they're not out yet for the Niners game. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But, yeah. Okay, we're done with that. But either way, Alex Anzalone, he was good. Jack Campbell was crap in this game. He looked like a rookie. That's the best way I can put it. And no big time completions over the head. Only 2. I don't think that was much of a big deal. Again, they were going to give up some. But again, when it came down to it, Aiden Hutchinson did kind of disappear. Lee McNeil, he was pretty good. But again, the corners not being physical enough. They honestly just need to completely overhaul that group. Brian Branch and Stan Slot, honestly, they got good depth at safety too. But Lions defensively, again, it just wasn't anything real. I honestly expected that. I'm going to be honest. I'll probably give them a minus. They held to 7 points the first half, guys. The Niners were going to score at some point. So, the fact that, again, they did do a decent job, I'm not too mad about them. Because, again, they did blow a huge lead. but I'm not too surprised with what happened. Offensively, though, you cannot expect to win when you only score 7 points in the second half against the best offense in the NFL. So, for the Lions time, guys, now let's talk about the Niners. And wrapping this thing up, we talk about this Niners team. Again, Brock not missing open receivers. If he does that next week, those are going to the house, bro. Like, that's his best way I can put it. Again, in the Super Bowl, if Brock Purdy does miss some of these receivers, it'll cost them big time in this game. Again, he did miss a couple of guys, but when it came down to it, again, when you have CMC, he didn't have any big runs. I mean, he had a couple decent-sized runs, but nothing huge. When it comes down to it, if Brock Purdy doesn't hit the open dudes, they're going to lose the game, Super Bowl. But Devo, 10+ touches. I think he had 8, maybe 9. So they did get him the football, obviously. George Kittle leading the way in terms of lead blocker. They got a lot behind him. Trent Williams actually wasn't even that fantastic in this game. He wasn't bad by any means, of course not. But he's been bad. Honestly, I think the only bad game was when he played against Washington a couple weeks ago. Or a while back, but he actually didn't even play that well, to be completely honest. Again, he did a decent job, but I think he had like 2 pressures. It wasn't crazy. But Niners offensively, again, they just completely blew up in the second half. That's what you want to see from them. 4 pluses. Defensively, though, under 140 rushing yards allowed. Nope. Don't give up a touchdown on the first 3 drives. Nope. Nick Bosa, 55% passer rate. Yup. Trevor scored a couple dominant reps in the secondary pumped. Yup. And 4+ sacks. They got 3? Something like that. No, 2. Defensively, again, it was just, again, the stars aligning, kind of, I guess. But Niners defensively, that's exactly what you need from them next week for sure. Again, just don't get completely torched against the run or any sort of trickery, and you should be good. 5 pluses for this defense. Again, they completely stepped up. That's the response you need, especially against that really good Lions offense. Good job, Niners. Again, I do have, preseason, I had you guys winning the Super Bowl. So, again, it would be good if I got that correct. But then again, I hate you. So, please lose to the Chiefs. And that's good luck to you guys, of course, with the Super Bowl. Again, Shrine Bowl this week on Thursday, I think 8 o'clock at NFL Network. I will be talking about the top 50 prospects, talking about guys who will be playing in that game, as well as the Reese's Senior Bowl on Saturday. So, again, those are 2, what is called NFL draft things that will be really interesting. Again, we will have the Combine as well, early March. Again, this is just, again, NFL draft stuff coming up. But I will talk about the top 50 prospects probably on Wednesday. We'll see. Again, enjoy your night, guys. And, yeah, see you later, I guess, for the top 50 prospects in the 2024 NFL draft. And see you later.
Chance at 70. Embiid. Coast to coast for 70. First time.